Peace, everybody. Peace, everybody. Long time no see. Yep, been a long time. Ain't been on in a long time. on live. That's wild. But I'm back, and I'm back to basically you know this live is basically about living a healthy lifestyle, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, whether it be your diet, your spiritual diet, your all of these kind of things. Your mental health. All of these things is these are all elements that you have to have in order to be healthy, you know. And just want to talk, probably gonna just talk about that. But I do want to advertise, a few of my products along the way because that's one of the things that you got to do when you're doing certain things. Amazing family, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Hit the like button for me. I appreciate you coming in. But yeah, I just want to talk about living a healthy lifestyle and you know, probably promote a few of the products on my showcase, and that's basically what I'm gonna be talking about. You know what I mean? 'Cause a lot of us we suffer from a lot of different things, and I myself have suffered, from many things. You know what I mean? Welcome in, welcome in. Hit the like button for me, y'all. I appreciate it. And I just learned how I do, the way that I do things, and for my own personal self, I just deal with one thing at a time. You know what I mean? One thing at a time. Whether it be just one thing at a time. We all most of us have the same problems. You know what I mean? So I ain't got to really go into detail about each and every problem. But one thing I can say, welcome in, DJ Kill, quick, and just prioritize what is most important and deal with things one at a time. And that's what I do. And that's what I do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Whether it's a bill, whether it's just something I got to deal with, whether it's the things that I have locked away in my mind that I have to deal with, whether it be like things from the past, even things that's in the present. I just deal with them in an orderly fashion. And I deal with things that's most important. You know what I mean? But as of recently, I've been talking about. I've been this is my 10th day of being a raw vegan, and it's been going pretty good. I've done it before. I was a vegan for 8 years, but I did the raw. I did the raw thing for about. I went 70 days one day, raw vegan, and no, it's working. It's a lot of benefits to resetting your body and the systems in your body by being raw vegan. Even doing a 72-hour water diet. These water diets, these are good diets because they will reset your body. They at least get your pressure down. It'll get things down. Whether your sugar may be high. If you do the water or if you do the raw vegan thing, it'll regulate things for you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I've been doing. Really trying to get myself together because I'm a younger guy now. You know what I mean? And things slow down a lot for you. If you hang around long enough, you stick around, and you got to do things differently. But I'm gonna start talking about a few things that I have. But this is one of the products that's on my showcase. It's True Moss by True Moss. The company is True Moss, and they make sea moss. And this is a this flavor is mango pineapple, and it's pretty good. And I haven't opened it yet because I have two other jars that are not they're not done yet. So I'm gonna finish those first before I open this one. But I had this company before, and it's called True Moss, and it's a pretty good product. And anybody who knows anything about sea moss, it's something good to get into your body because one thing that I know over time, because I've been living, even I was living before the year 2000 too. A lot of the foods that we've been eating for the last 25 years, 25, maybe a couple more than that, are not they're not nutrient rich. So you're going to need some good supplements to offset the junk that's really that looks like the stuff we used to eat. Because I was living in the 90s and the 80s, and I was living in the 70s. But the food that we ate back then it was better. It was more nutrient rich. So now as we're getting older, well, now as we're getting more wiser, you got to see that certain supplements, it's just good for you to have sea moss in your life. You know what I mean? And also, this is bone broth. Bone broth is another good way to increase your body in some vital nutrients. Uh, that, and if you look back in the days, if you look back in the day when your mom or your grandma made a big pot of soup or something like that, and you know how like at the end, you drink the juice, or even if she made whatever beef stew. It's a lot of different things that was there. Even making the chicken inside of a pan and all of that grease and goodness, like it'd be like the vegetables, especially if there's vegetables in it and stuff like that. And you eat that stuff or you drink it. Believe it or not, that's the best thing. That's what these with the bone broth with collagen is, because really the things that you think is not really nothing and ain't nothing special for you is the best thing, is almost the best thing for you in the whole thing. So the more you learn, you know about what you should be eating, the more you start learning about it's stuff that you it's right in front of your face, even on the inside of the house and then on the natural tip. But if a lot of us, we can't go through a lot because our lives is moving very quickly and we don't have time to do a lot of things. We don't even cook for ourselves. We eat out a lot and things of that nature. This bone broth is just something with collagen that you can add to your, and it's on my showcase too. You can add this to your life, and it's going to greatly help you. And being as I'm talking about that, this is another one. This is beef tallow. This is another thing that's on my showcase. Beef tallow. The tallow is what the people used to use before we were using like things like Crisco. Because I'm an old young buck, so I remember growing up. My all of the older people, parents and grandparents age. What I mean, they used like Crisco. Crisco was real came out real strong in the 70s, 80s, whatever. People use Crisco. But before that people use lard. But beef tallow is like the same as like it's like lard, but it's like coming from beef. But science has already the doctors so they already say that this right here, beef tallow, is better for you than all of like stuff like margarine. Like margarine is not really, you might as well eat butter. If you might as well eat butter than to eat the margarine. But beef tallow is another thing that is very good for your skin, very good for your overall health. It's better. You have more nutrients. It's higher in nutrients. And we getting back to our old ways. And if you get back to the old ways, the old people, if you notice, your grandma, you got a grandma or a great grandma that lived to be 100 years old, 95 years old. She ate pork, fried foods, the whole 9 yards. But there's certain things that the older people did back in the day that we don't do no more. Like we don't sit out in the sun and sweat. We don't, you know what I mean? We don't. A lot of us don't pray. A lot of the people, even though they was like super duper this and super duper that, but they were God conscious, and they were like they were God conscious, and they stayed. It's certain things that caused them to be healthier on a higher level than us. And now you got us. We just barely living past. We can't get past 65. You know what I mean? You can't get past 65. You got people. We getting sick, getting sick at real young age. Uh, whereas though, like when I was a kid, I remember that for somebody to really to get certain kind of sicknesses, that stuff only really happened for people that was like in the like mid to late 60s. And now you see people, uh, these things is these things they're getting these things in their 30s. And I'm just saying, this is I know. I mean, what I think or I speculate, this stuff is coming from the diet, and the diet is maybe the most important thing, and it's the most important thing for everything, even your thoughts. If your thoughts, when you have a proper diet and you're eating good things, then you can have great thoughts. When you're not eating right and you're eating like trash food, or you eating food made by somebody who got a bad attitude, or somebody who having a bad day, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that this is why people develop sicknesses. This is why people be unhappy. You know what I mean? That's good. Make your own food. You know, it's really if you ask me, or at least go to a place where they on a positive vibration and they vibrating high. You know, you don't want to be eating food from people who got a bunch of problems and pissed off, mad at the world, and they sitting there mixing and making your food while they mad at the world and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to do that. So we got to start thinking about our health and priority. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Welcome in, Donna. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. But we got to start really like giving our health its proper due and its proper respect. We got to really like see it for what it is and stop saying yeah, I appreciate you coming in, Miss Donna. Hey, can you hit that like button for me? I appreciate if you hit that like button. Hit that like button for me about 500 times. I appreciate it. But your health is most important, and I'm telling you, this is a thing that I've been realizing more and more the younger I get. Thank you, thank you. I see you like it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the light. I appreciate it because as I've gotten younger, I don't like to say the other word. I move slower. My desire for certain things is not the same. You know what I mean? Which is it's a good and bad. That's a good thing. It's good and bad. But what I'm saying is, I had to learn. Truthfully, in the last last 2 3 years, I've had to learn how to like slow down a little bit, even with my walk and a lot of different things. I had to learn how to redo things because I found myself I'm moving too fast. I start tripping over stuff. But that's because I'm older and I'm moving too fast. And I'm trying to move too fast. But that's one of the lessons that I got in my life with that. Now I know how to like do things in a more conscious way, in a more meticulous way. Like I take care of myself, but I take care of myself better now than I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I was just fast. Now I really know how to take care of myself in a better way. And one of the ways that I'm doing it is through really with my diet. I've really thanks for the likes, y'all. I appreciate the likes. Keep hitting the likes, y'all. I appreciate it. Shares help too. I appreciate if you would share it too. But you know, I'm a former athlete. I'm a boxer. I've been boxing all my life, and I've been a boxing coach now for a third of my life. So a little under 20 years. So I've experimented with multiple different kinds of diets. I've tried just many different kinds of yeah, I'm trying, Miss Donna. You know what I mean? So I've experimented with a lot of different stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I'm advertising, these supplements, I know about them. I've been taking vitamins and stuff like that since I was a kid. My dad had me involved with sports from a very early age, since I was 5 years old. And yeah, so I always was like in some type of training, or some type of training type mindset. So I know about I just know about how the usage of supplements, and they can help you. But nothing is better. Truthfully, I'm gonna be honest with you, as a coach and just as a brother who gonna tell the truth. It's nothing better than eating good food, and especially eating good food cooked by your hand or by the hand of somebody that really cares and loves you. That's probably the best thing that you could do for yourself. You know what I mean? Is to eat healthy food, and if of course, now because food ain't the same. Like I said, it's good to have certain supplements, especially stuff like sea moss, that bone broth. These things boost. They really boost you up, boost you up, and try to educate yourself as much as you possibly can about what's good for your particular body. And trust me, and another thing, everything that's good for me ain't gonna be necessarily good for you, and vice versa. But through trial and error, we learn these things. We learn what's good for you because you may take a certain. I know certain things that I eat or drink or whatever, and my indicator is my left foot. My left foot is swell, or certain little things that go on with my body. And I will know that no, that ain't for me. Or even if it's something good, if it's some things that's good, like if I eat a little bit too much junk food, some cake or something, I start getting little funny feelings right here and all that, right? But that's because I know my body, and I be like, yo, ease up, back up off that a little bit. So you gotta learn yourself. Your health comes from it comes from trial and error. It does, and this is why, let's say, take speaking about health and things of that nature, and then going into like, okay, knowledge of self. You can never really the knowledge of self is the main. If you don't know yourself, you're not going to be healthy because it's still something your spiritual, your emotional health is going to be deprived or deficient. You know what I mean? So you have to have knowledge of self, and and I know that's like a code word, but it's a good code word because if you don't know yourself, you'll never know what your body needs. Then when you start getting into like other things, the knowledge of self is supreme. You need to know you Miss Donna. I'm from Pennsylvania. I live in Philly. I'm from Philly. Yeah, yeah. I'm from Philly. Where you from? Where you dialing in from? Yeah. Eddie Reyes. Welcome in, Eddie Reyes. Yeah, but just speak. This one thing I just know. You know, even having bad associations. Bad associations is bad for your health. You know what I mean? Because people hanging around bad people will bring you down. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, myself included, a lot of my videos, if you look on my content, and you'll see that my content is oh, okay, you right up the street. That's what's up. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me for a little while. You know, yo, I got to check. We friends. We already friends, Miss Donna. Well, I hope so. But yeah, life is trial and error. It really is. Nah, I really appreciate you coming in. I used to go live all the time. I used to go live every day, sometimes twice a day. But I really I got away from it. This last 6, 7, 8 months, I just haven't had the energy for it. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of energy, a lot of energy to go live every day. It just does. But like I said, even going live is trial and error because you're gonna see a lot of people that go live every day. You're gonna see them come and go. I'm telling you, you're gonna see them come and go because it's energy. This is an energy. Any kind of interaction between people, it's an energy exchange. Whether even okay, you're on here with me, and I'm talking. You're giving me your energy because you're giving me your attention. But the same way that I'm speaking with you, I'm talking to you, I'm giving you my energy. So it's an energy exchange. So if you don't understand that what this energy exchange is, and you just like yeah, you just then it's gonna wear you out eventually. It's gonna wear you out, and then you're gonna find out, and you're gonna be like, damn, and then you're gonna start readjusting how you do things and just how you operate and how you function. So that's the truth. You know what I mean? I try to communicate it certain things as best way I can, but you're going live every day and not, and then if you're interacting with people, yeah, I do too. Yeah, I do too, Miss Donna. Yeah, I learn from listening. And because trust and believe, I'm on TikTok every day, and I'm on YouTube. It's a lot of people that I follow. Uh, I follow them. Truthfully, I really follow. I pay attention to what they say. I have my own mind, but what I mean is, some people. There are people that I follow and I'm subscribed to that I respect their opinion a lot, and I just keep track of how they feel about things. Because sometimes, even if you might see something, and you be like, "Yo, man, it may make you mad, or it may make you happy." Thanks for the flower, Miss Cynthia. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And it may make you mad. You be like, "Am I bugging?" Thanks for the heart, me too. I appreciate that. Thank you. And you'll say, "Thanks for the heart, me, Miss Down. I really do. I appreciate you." And I'll be saying like, am I bugging for being mad? Like I'll be mad about something, and I'll be like, wondering, am I tripping? But then some, and then sometimes I appreciate that. I see you. Make sure, and y'all can friend each other. I hope y'all will link up and friend each other. You know, that's a cool thing to do too. But yeah, I definitely trust me. And truthfully, on my journey, my life journey for the last uh 8 years, maybe I've been on a spiritual journey this last 8 years. I appreciate. I see you. I see you. I appreciate that. You made me hit my goal, Miss Cynthia. God bless you. I appreciate that. But I definitely have been I have been brought along on my journey by the information and the people that I listen to on the internet. I'm gonna straight up and down. I'm gonna be really honest with you that you can don't get fooled. Not y'all necessarily, but I'm just saying don't be fooled by thinking that you can't learn nothing by like you just said. Miss Donna said you listen, you learn from listening. And listen, everything the stories from ages ago, the real knowledge has been passed down through word of mouth. So listening is what people need to learn how to do again. I mean, need to get back into learning. But I'm get back into listening. But what I'm saying is like I've changed my whole life around uh through listening to people, learning on YouTube. Really, YouTube is like the most like has been the most influential. I always was on like Instagram for years, but when TikTok kind of like came out, I drug my feet with getting onto it. But the last few years, I've been on TikTok. But it's a lot of good people on TikTok. The TikTok is the world. You know, social media is the world. Anything you want to get into, if you want to go left, you can go left. If you want to go right, you can go right. So anything you really want to get into is here. And but but this is how I've been maintaining myself, and how my life has changed. And really, I know that my one of my purposes is to speak and to speak about what I know, you know, and try to like really hold people's hands through certain things, because life is a journey, but it's high. It's got a lot of different aspects. Like, 'cause I used to be I used to be an ultra religious person most of my life, actually, you know, and so I know how to be ultra religious. I'm definitely connected to the Creator. I'm created to God. YouTube has helped a lot because a lot of things I've went down. I've went down multiple rabbit holes on YouTube. Actually, a lot of things that I never probably would have encountered, or people I never would have encountered on YouTube. I mean, in let's say physical life, in real life, I would have never even really came across nobody like that. But YouTube, by you going down certain rabbit holes, you will come across some real interesting individuals that will be able to teach you some things by listening to them that will blow your mind, and you would never would have thought was thanks Miss Donna, thank you. You would never would have thought was proper. I mean, possible. So trust me, I love social media. You know, I really do. I love social media, and it's funny. I never really used to even how people use social media, even back because I used to be on Facebook and all that stuff when I used to be sitting at work and I would be bored. I would go on Facebook. I would be on Facebook or I would be on Instagram and stuff like that. But I never really used it for certain things, especially on Facebook because my mom, my aunts, uh, certain people will be on my certain things. I'm just saying it's not my style anyway to do certain stuff. I always was like, being as I'm a boxing coach and I always posted motivational stuff, motivational things. Uh, I'm a motivator. That's my job. That's what I do. But it's also by me getting to different spiritual philosophies with certain things. I learned that I already was living my purpose, even before I was like conscious of it. Like um being like a mentor. Like I've always been a mentor. I already been coaching kids and teaching kids about God, Allah. Like, cause I'm an Islamic based person. I already was teaching kids about that, trying to teach kids about right and wrong, neighborhood people that you know just try to lead them down the right path or a better path. So I've been doing it. So, but I was doing it in the dark. But by me getting into like not being scared of certain things, and I learned that from following some highly intelligent people on YouTube. Just being honest, like religion. You teach religion is what it is, and you gotta be careful of a lot of different things. But you know, we are a combination of a lot of different things. You can't just give up. Oh, you've been in church all life. You know about Jesus. You know about God, and you know right from wrong, and you learned it in the church. So what you gonna do? You might learn there's some bad stuff that connected to like what the church is supposed to be. But guess what? What you gonna leave off knowing right and wrong? You gonna leave off like all the good stuff? No. The church, the masjid, the mosque, all that stuff is two things going on. There's some good stuff and there's some bad stuff. And it maybe even some and there's definitely some in between stuff going on. But you gotta learn that, and you learn it over time. Just like I said in the beginning, it's a trial and error thing. Trial and error. You know, with with everything. Like I said, your diet, the stuff that you eat, your spiritual intake, your religious intake. Uh, you learn a lot of stuff from trial and error. So it's not no surefire way to, you know, everybody got their own way. You know what I mean? Everybody definitely got their own way. You know what I mean? And telling people what to do ain't my thing. I advise. Now my kids grown though, but I'm just saying but I still got two more kids, but they like grown kids. But kids tell them what to do. When they and other than that, man, you can't be telling nobody. You gotta advise people. I advise you don't go that way because they might get you down there. Hey, if you want to go down there, that's on you. But I'm gonna advise you. I ain't telling nobody what to do because if you got good sense, you're gonna develop your own way. If you got good sense, you're gonna develop your own way of doing things, and it may be similar to some good people and what they do, but it'll never be identically the same because we're all unique. We're all unique, and we all unique. And that's another thing that I learned from my life. You know what I mean? Like even teaching, teaching boxing. I'm a boxing teacher, right? Okay. So, and I have a particular style, my style, right? Okay, my style, how I box, but also I have a style of how I teach boxing. Okay, now I got a kid, and I'm trying to teach him I'm teaching him what I do, basically. But guess what? He can never do it exactly how I do it because I'm me and he him or she's her. Like you know what I'm saying? So whatever I show them how to do, it's gonna have their personality, their desire, their what consciousness, all of that stuff is gonna be on whatever move that I'm that I'm showing them how to do. So what I'm saying is everybody so in everything you do, even if you're being a Christian, you're still gonna be you're a unique Christian, you're a unique Muslim because how you will never be able to mimic somebody exactly. So that's another thing I learned. I let people be who they are. I don't try to change people. Oh yeah, I used to be, you know. But I'm saying I learned. I got past all that. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, so I don't be telling nobody what to do. I don't get upset because don't nobody listen. They don't want to listen because it might not be their time. There's plenty of days I wasn't listening either. There's plenty of days somebody was telling me something real good for me, and you know what I was doing? I was thinking about something else. You know what I mean? Or I was thinking that they wasn't even worthy to be listened to. But I've been favored to live long enough to see the error in a lot of my ways, and correct and be able and to be able to correct them. So a lot of them. So I pray that that's what we all get the opportunity to get. I think I'm gonna make another advertisement. This one is 21st century. Yeah, this is 21st century. This is a calcium, magnesium, and zinc with D3. Actually, this one. I ain't gonna lie. On my TikTok my TikTok shop, my showcase. This is the one that's sold. It sold the most. Yeah, it sold the most. 21st century calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Yep, it definitely has done the best. Um, so far as with sales. But that's the three things that your body needs, without a doubt. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you pray for me, Miss Donna. I'm gonna pray for you too. Yeah, and just getting back to a lot of stuff is a lot of stuff deep, a lot of stuff deep in this world. You know, each person is responsible for their particular reality, and the more you get into like the knowledge of certain things, the more you start understanding that you only really responsible for your reality. You know what I mean? Your reality, and you're only responsible for like the people that you can touch. Maybe not touch necessarily physically touch. I'm saying the people you can touch. Like, okay, you, each person has a certain amount of reach on their platforms on here, as well as the people that they can influence uh, in the physical realm, right? But we're we're responsible for what we have on our plate, and if you can not convince, if you can advise somebody to do the right things, you can advise somebody to eat healthy, to exercise, to be conscious of uh, the Most High Creator. And then these are just basics. These are basic things because there's more things than that that you could be advising somebody about. Uh, then that's what you need to do, and that's what I tell myself. As for saving the world, yeah, save the world first by saving you and your world and making your world that which is correct and that's right, and then you can go out and maybe do a little more uh, along the way each time. But that's just my how I. That's what I know. I don't even believe it. That's what I know. I know that uh, you have multiple things going on simultaneously, multiple worlds. Because everything that affects me doesn't necessarily affect you. So why you gonna get mad because of something I'm saying? Or it's just you gotta understand it. Because the way they playing with us now, they've been playing with us this way for the long time. But I don't even want to get into all that. Because I'm really creating a happy place for myself, and it ain't got a bunch of mess in it. So, um, if you really smart, if you really a smart individual, you would stay away from a lot of controversy, a lot of static. I'm gonna just call it static. A lot of strife because a lot of stuff, if it don't involve you, don't don't worry about it. Stay away from it. You know what I mean? For real. Like I live in Philly. I'm in Philly, right? Okay. Philly is it's an interesting place, right? A lot of this, a lot of that. But if you look on the news, you might think that Philly is this terrible place because some bad things happen. But bad things ain't happening everywhere in Philly. You got people safe and content and happy and doing great things. You know what I mean? Being happy. Period. Inside Philly, but at the same time, you got people uh living in hell. Same thing in New York. You would say New York, it's the same way, right? Except bigger, right? So, well, New York City. I don't know. I know you said you're from New York. You didn't say New York City, but I'm just using New York City as an example. Same, same story, same thing. But you know. I myself, and I ain't slow at all, but I've learned to stay away from a lot. It's better, you know, especially when you're dealing with getting stuff grabbing a hold to you. You know what I mean? So, take one day at a time. You know, and I don't know. I don't know. I do want to. What's this? Clean natural. This is another thing. This is a sample they sent me today. I just got this today, actually. This is clean neutral. It's a maca root with ashwagandha, uh, fenugreek, beetroot, and L-arginine. This is like drops. Yeah, you see, this one ain't even open. I haven't even tried it yet. But clean neutral. Yeah, clean neutral. But like when you get samples for your shop, they really urge you a lot to. Well, I definitely always make videos for them as soon as I get it, but they want you to go live and stuff. And that's the one thing I didn't even do before when I was going live. I never really like uh talk about the stuff that was on my showcase. I just did because I would just be talking about whatever I'm talking now. I'll be talking, but I used to always say I would have the music playing. I don't know why I'm not playing the music now. I used to play music, but maybe next time when I come back on next time. But um, yeah, this is the first time I've been on. I'm telling you, like might be 6 months. I ain't been on. I ain't been live in 6 months. But you know, things. Like I said, you live and you learn. Live, prepare yourself when you interact with people, especially on this app. Especially, everything is about energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, great things do happen in Philly. Yep, trust and believe. So it's just like everywhere else. You know what I mean? Everything. And that's another thing I learned from another philosophical, a spiritual philosophical, philosophy. Like with like the yin yang. You ever seen that circle, that yin yang? Like one side white, one side black, with the little dots. Yin and yang. Like the light, basically the light and the dark. Everything has a light and the dark side. Right. So you know what I'm saying. So everything has a light and a dark side. All of us have two sides. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like all of us have two sides. So it's like you know what I mean. The thing with that is developing balance. Like becoming balanced with what you're doing. Like how you living. Balance. You need balance. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of like being mad. You're not supposed to be all like that. The same way. Well, be happy, but don't be so happy that you're not conscious of what the hell is going on around you. You know what I mean? Uh, Even with fear, don't be so much in fear that you can't get the job done. Or whatever it is that you got to do. Um, or that you don't, or so much in fear that you don't enjoy, you don't know how to enjoy your life, or things. There's so many different things. Balance, balance. Like okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, I see the truck coming, but I'm gonna stop on the corner and wait till the truck go by, and then I'm gonna cross the street. So I'm not gonna the truck. No, I see it, and I'm gonna let it go by, and then I'm gonna cross. You know what I mean? So balance, but it gets bigger and bigger. More important things. You gotta stay balanced, but you know that's one thing. One of the things that I've been able to take from another philosophy that I probably would have never looked at was that balance thing. When you get into like certain kind of Eastern religions, whether it be Buddhism, the whole Zen, this whole Zen thing, a lot of stuff within these philosophies they exist inside of like what is called Islam or what is called Christianity. They're in there. These aspects, these high aspects are in there. It's just that a lot of people don't look at it as such. But you know, but you may have to look left to see it in something else in order for you to really take heed. You know what I mean? So That's pretty much best way I can put it. But I appreciate y'all hanging on with me for a little while. This is my first time on in 6 months. I think I'm a dial out and probably come back. I'm gonna come back on tomorrow. I think I'm gonna start going on, coming back on frequently. And I appreciate you coming in and sitting with me, Miss Donna. I see you in there. I see someone else is in. Okay, I can't really see who it is. The Rabbit Lady. Welcome in, the Rabbit Lady. Yeah. I appreciate you sitting and listening. And hopefully you enjoy the rest of y'all night. And I'm hopefully I see you soon. Miss Donna, we already friends, Miss Donna? Let me see. We not. Yeah, let me. Yeah, I just friended you. Yeah, I just friended you, Miss Donna. Hopefully I see you soon. And yeah, I'll probably be going on tomorrow. I don't know what time though, but I'm definitely going to be coming back on. Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming in. And I think I'm gonna sign off, y'all. No, that's okay. Yeah. No, that's okay. And I appreciate that. And I really appreciate those gifts that y'all gave me. I really do. So, but I'll be coming on probably tomorrow, and we can have another nice talk. All right. God bless y'all. All right. Peace.